What's good, YouTube? Antayami here, and we're back with another deck profile of Mekk-Knight Orcust. Dude, I always been a big fan of Orcust when he first came out, and that's kind of where I kind of got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! When Orcust, I think Sky Striker was like the best deck or whatever. Of course, Sky Striker being very good as well. The internal format, I think that's what people are calling it, the internal format or toss format, whatever it's called. I think the deck is really solid, and honestly, I really love Mekk-Knights. I mean, and you can tell because I think this build has a little bit more Mekk-Knights than the normal build. Not by much, but a little bit more. So let's get into the deck profile. We have triple Mekk-Knight Gearsu, and we have 2 scrap recyclers. I like the rule of 5. I don't know why, but I feel like the rule of 5 is very important. I feel like in most decks, a lot of decks like to play like 5 normal summons, and I feel like 5 is a really key number for some reason. So I have like 5 normal summon starters in this deck, right? Obviously these cards, Foolish Burial, a Orcust card to get your engine started, and once that resolves, you pretty much have a pretty good consistent system going here. So very good. Of course, for the Mekk-Knight package, you have triple purple, the best Mekk-Knight, double blue sky. I've seen a lot of people play this at 1, and I play indigo. The reason why I play the extra Mekk-Knight package is because if you resolve the Gearsu, then you can special summon the Mekk-Knight guys and extend a little bit more into your plays. Of course, you get the looping purple. If you open up blue, blue can get into your purple, purple gets into your either indigo, or you can get into a Gearsu. It just, this package is literally like a good going second package, and also it gets you into your Gearsu, which is your main combo piece. But obviously, they're just really big beaters as well, so very scary cards. For the Orcust engine, we play Brass, Bombard, Skeleton, Nightmare, and Wand. You play 1 of each. You don't need to play more than 2, especially in this build. I've seen more people play these cards at multiple, but I find them really breaky if you do that, because you can open like multiple Nightmares, multiple of like whatever, and they don't really do anything. But in those builds, I've seen a lot of people play more Orchestrated Return. So I like 1 Orchestrated Return. I almost thought about playing 2, even with this little Orcust package. But honestly, I think this is fine. I mean, this is completely fine. I don't know why a lot of people don't play this card. I think this card is insane. So if you open like a Nightmare or Skeleton in your opening hand, you can actually dump this to the graveyard and play from there. Or you can literally normal summon this, link it away, and then special summon these. Or you can special summon the Gearsu, because Gearsu's technically an Orcust. So there's a lot of cool things you can do with this card, but I play this card over another card that I don't play in my extra deck, which I'll get into once we get there. It comes up a lot. Also, it's also a good target for return. For hand traps, we got triple Ash Blossom, double Ghost Bell, triple Imperm, 8 hand traps. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, I think that covers a lot of things here. You have the Ash Blossoms. I think this is standard. It hits pretty much generically anything. I will never side deck this card, and I get it. This card is a very low impact card, but I feel like it's so versatile in almost like every single matchup. You're gonna resolve it on something, unless they're playing like some kind of like crazy Mystic Mind helmet deck. Even in that deck, you can still resolve it because you can hit the pots. Ghost Bell at 2. I don't feel like it needs to be at 3 in this particular build. I wanted to play a little bit more hand traps, and this is probably the last card I think I added in this deck. I took out some cards to put space for some more hand traps. And I mean, Ghost Bell is just it's good. I mean, it's still one of my favorite hand traps in the game. Like, it just hits so many things that you don't expect to hit. It's pretty crazy. But again, my favorite card to hit with this card is still Revolt. Like, hitting Revolt with this card is like game over. It just feels like game over to me. If you get past the Appaloosa, which you run Imperm, so you can actually chain Imperm to Appaloosa to out that, and then Ghost Bell if you have the combo there. If I have the combo here, when I open up both of these, I literally let them play their, you know, their board, whatever. I won't even imperm their cards or whatever. save Imperm for the Appaloosa, and then go spell if I have the combo. But if I have Imperm, then yeah, I'm just going to Imperm the monster. For one-up spells, and this is not Monster Reborn, but I explain what it is soon because I will be picking up a Mekk-Knight or a World Legacy memory soon, but this is a memory, so pretend it's a memory. In my testings, this is a memory. Foolish Burial, Orchestrated Return, you only need one in this build. Babble, a lot of people don't play Babble, and you don't necessarily need to go for it for the first turn, but sometimes in certain matchups, it's really cool to play on your opponent's turn to like use Dingirsu as an interruption or using Galatea as a quick effect. I like it. I like this card a lot. Even if this card is in your graveyard, you can actually discard a card from your hand, which is sometimes not bad, and add it back. It's really good. Really, really good, especially also in late game too. So if you decide to go for the crescendo play, then next play you can set a Babble or play Babble and literally like really grind your opponent or outgrind them. I think it's really cool. Call by the Grave, I mean hand traps, and it's also if they don't hand trap you, you can still call something out of the graveyard, which is still really cool. Secession, really good. Obviously, this is a World Legacy deck. You want to play it, and again, this is World Legacy memories because you want to get into your Mekk-Knights as quickly as possible. You know, you kind of want to get into your Orcust and your Mekk-Knights, so it's a searchable way to get into your plays, so why not? For the 3-ofs, we play Triple Pot of Prosperity for consistency reasons. I will go over the cards I hit in my extra deck if anybody have any questions, but yeah, this card is really nuts, bro. Even in game 2 and 3 where the card really shines when you hit like some of your side deck cards, which I won't be going over in this video, but yeah, it's so good. You always Prosperity for 6. Even if you have like a really good hand, Prosperity for 6. If you decide not to like Prosperity at first, do it for 3 to be safe, whatever, if you resolved all your effects and whatever. But most of the time you open with this. This could be Ash Bait, and you know, resolve your Girsus, you know, for free basically. But again, Forbidden Droplets is like my favorite card of this format. Like, this card is insane. It non-targets negate. It can send cards that can dodge like Valor and Imperm, which when I used to play Anaconda in my spellbook deck, I would like summon Anaconda and they will like Imperm or Valor, and I'll be like Droplets, and then Dragoon destroys the field. It's so crazy. And the fact that it also has attacks, so you can actually use this card in damage step. This card does it all. Like, it's good on the offense. It can be very good on the defense. The reason why I do main deck 3 is because even if you open it, you can just set it, and it could be a disruption on your opponent's turn, which is really insane. Sometimes I can send my Orchestrated Crescendo if I kind of like brick, and then I can banish this card from my graveyard on my opponent's turn and get into my engine. So it's pretty cool. Really cool stuff. Speaking of traps, I do play 8, but you only see 5 here because Imperms were earlier. Triple Torrential Tribute, this card is insane. It's so great. A lot of people do not see this card coming, and it saved me a lot of times in a lot of situations. And some matchups like Prank Kids and Tri Brigades, I couldn't even think of the name of the deck, will play straight into it, and honestly, it's nothing they can really do about it. So it is what it is. It's a monster heavy deck, so it is what it is. World Legacy Secret. This is why we play Indigo and the extra blue to get into this card a little bit easier. And if you play it correctly, it could basically be a triple interruption or a double interruption. At least in the minimum, it could be 1 interruption. It's really weird to play through it at times. And it can reborn a level 5 or higher monster. So I have Pankratops in my side deck. I remember one time I summoned Pankratops 3 times. Due to World Legacy Secrets and World Legacy Secession. It's pretty insane. And of course, Orchestrated Crescendo, really great busted counter trap that searches for some reason. Like, thank you for that. Like, it didn't need to do it, but it does. So it's pretty insane that it does that. So very good. Going into the main deck, or sorry, the extra deck. For my Link ones, I play Amirage and Link Karibo. This is for the Galatea Gear Suit combo, and this is for the Scrap Recycler. Masquerena for the Link 2s. Ib is so good. I freaking love Ib. Sometimes summoning her can be a little tough because sometimes your plays can be very weird and you don't have a World Legacy card in your graveyard, but a lot of times you do, and she comes up a lot. So good. She can set a card on the field at an advantage, and she also a non-targeting bounce, which is ridiculous. I'm sorry, a non-targeting spin. Busted. Morningstar, really good for getting into your World Legacy cards. It's very, very good, and a lot of people definitely don't read this card and they misplay all the time against them. It's funny. Triple Galatea. For the Link 3s, we do play Longinsu. This guy can be definitely cuttable. I definitely love him. He does come up sometimes, but not necessarily all the time. He's a part of the Prosperity target. Same thing with Masquerena. If I don't go into like a Masquerena start, then Longinsu is also like a pot of Prosperity target. So these two right here could be great targets. I always banish one Galatea for a part of Prosperity, so that's 3 right there. Oh, also with these, depends on the play. If I open up Gearsu, I can just banish this, and vice versa, whatever. Normally I don't ever banish the Link Kuriboh. I usually keep the Link Kuriboh because he may come up later on, but Amaraj usually goes. So that's technically 4. Another Link 3, Unicorn. I usually keep him in my extra decks because I feel like he comes up a lot more than Long Gearsu, but yeah, generic. Sometimes if you want to get rid of him, you can. For the Link 4s, Appaloosa and Access Code Talker. Access Code Talker, obviously a really good staple card in the dark, so if you're locked into darks, you can still go into him and swing for game, pop, clear the field. And Appaloosa, because there's some plays you could actually go into Appaloosa and it's really sick. Also a good pot of Prosperity target if you can't make Appaloosa, so for the XYZs, we play double Ding and one AA Zeus. It's so good. Zeus is so amazing. So how to make Zeus in this deck really, really easy is that you can normal summon Gearsu. Gearsu, do the dump, obviously. That gets interrupted. It doesn't really matter. If you're going second, at least. Then afterwards, you can make Galatea. Galatea overlay for Ding. Use Ding's effect to send. And then attack. And since Ding has like semi-protection, if it happens to get destroyed by something, you can detach and you still make a Zeus, right? So really good, really, really good. This is a really, really weird thing to stop. And if your Ding honestly got hit by something where it detaches and only has like himself as attachment, don't make a Zeus, obviously. Don't do that. I feel like he made his point, and if you resolve to put Nightmare in your graveyard, then make a board in main phase 2. This deck is really good on the control aspects, so you can do a lot of crazy stuff in this deck. It's really fun. So with that, that's going to be my deck profile. Thank you guys for listening. I am trying to make a goal to make it to 1,000 subscribers, and again, I'm sorry I've been really inconsistent on my uploads. Again, my goal is to at least do 3 uploads a week. But my work schedule has been really hectic. So my goal is to try to get to 1,000 subscribers. I want to try to get there. And if you guys like the video, make sure you guys leave, a comment, smash the like button, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.